So, good morning, Andreas. I'm very happy to be with you today.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation.
So actually, this is so we are here at the Speed Experience user event in Den Hague in Netherlands.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it is at least your second time you are coming to this event.
Yeah.
So I guess you must like it. So I don't know. What is your motivation to come back here?
Yeah, absolutely. So the user conference is a very good opportunity to meet all the users, as the name said. And I would also say that Dassault is a very innovative company, putting a lot of innovations each year. It's hard to follow what kind of innovation comes every year. So an event like the user conference is a good opportunity to see what is the roadmap, what is released.
So we are one day in the conference. Was the first day already full of good information for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So beginning with the roadmap and the generative things you have pronounced yesterday about artificial intelligence and so on, like having some kind of a chatbot within the project management. It's one thing where we really promise a lot of potentials for us. But also things like ECAD-MCAD collaboration and so on. I've seen a lot of information yesterday, yes.
So if we come back about you, so can you just tell us a bit who you are? What are your passions? What is keeping you happy to come to work every morning?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm Andreas WANK. I'm working at Pepperl+Fuchs in Mannheim, and I started my career with a PhD in mechanical engineering, and I started it when Industry 4.0 emerged, and it was a very interesting time because my task was to think about how you can digitalize manufacturing processes, and therefore think how you can make it technically, but also what kind of methodology you can use to find potentials, and how you can proceed to convince people to go this way. And this was also my connection to Pepperl+Fuchs, because they equipped us with sensors where we can implement technical use cases, Industry 4.0 use cases to train companies in our university. And yeah, so I came to Pepperl+Fuchs, started the quality management, and now I took over the topic product lifecycle management. And this motivates me every morning to come to the company, as it's a very complex but very interesting process. And you have so many puzzle pieces, and you really have to take care that if you scrap one out puzzle piece, that the whole puzzle still is intact. And that's very a high motivation for me, because every day is challenging, and that's interesting. Yeah.
So actually, you just mentioned PLM, Pepperl+Fuchs.
Yeah.
So actually, you are in the process of a very ambitious program.
Yeah.
Which actually where you will hopefully enjoy the Speed Experience platform and ENOVIA as part of the picture. So can we just come back maybe at the beginning on how this started? I mean, what was the motivation to drive these programs? Somehow, where you started from?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, Pepperl+Fuchs is a provider of sensor technology, so for process and factory automation. And of course, we are delivering hardware, but it's more and more crucial for us to think about how we can create additional customer value with our data we have. And therefore, in the long run, we also want to be part of some kind of a data economy, and just putting the payment model, the digital twin, and the business application together like Lego bricks and selling it. But most of these use cases fail right now because of the high integration costs we have, bringing data to our customers, to suppliers, and so on. And therefore, and to reach this state, some kind of a data ecosystem, we also have to do our homework in our company, because we are really document-centric right now. And therefore, we won't be able to reach any digital-driven business case in the future. So therefore, we want to redefine the interaction between all the business processes and the information flow. And this is the main motivation. So of course, we want to gain efficiency in the short term, redefining business processes, information flow. but we also want to make the basis right now to be able to provide any kind of digital business model in the future. And this was the main motivation, right?
Actually, as you know, the theme for the conference was about this generative economy and on how to connect the digital IP, your sensors, digital virtual model, how to connect it to the real world data, and how to build actually new type of generative experiences and new business model. So I guess this is pretty well aligned with your visions on what you want to achieve.
Yeah, of course. But it's a long way to come to this point. And you've asked me how we have started, so maybe I say some words to it.
Yeah, please.
And yeah, we started this PLM program in 2022, and it took us some efforts to take the first steps, as PLM as a professional management approach was quite new to us. And but we thought we really make a huge scope, considering the whole innovation chain, including 17 departments with around about 200 colleagues. I really thought about shaping a PLM approach in the beginning. So what is the target? We really did exhausting as-is analysis. So we put 17 departments on one table saying, okay, how do you do it today? Concerning variant management, concerning product compliance, for example. It was a quite interesting workshops with a lot of pain points they have identified along the information flow. And we have around about 140 different tools right now. And therefore really want to put this additional PLM layer over the authoring tools to connect to break up data silos, I would say.
And simplify, maybe.
Yeah, of course. So we're also thinking about replacing authoring tools if they're not future-proven. But in the end, we really want to have a digital continuity along the innovation chain. And this was our first year, and also selecting a PLM vendor. As you assume, we selected Dassault, and we did an exhausting validation phase afterwards, 1 year. We tested 600 user stories in the PLM platform. So, because the decision for a PLM vendor is a decision for decades, and therefore we wanted to really be sure to have the right vendor. And around about 200 colleagues did get access to your platform. They tested it. And in the end, we had our famous point of no return, where we said, okay, Dassault will be our partner of our choice. And last year, we started to make the implementations, so rethinking business processes. We have around about 42 business processes have been redefined, with around about 1,000 activities. And we also did the first step to make an end-to-end implementation, really from concept to manufacturing preparation. And yeah, so this year is getting exciting as we're starting to roll out the platform. We already have some pilot projects live. And now we are concentrating on topic-specific rollouts, meaning M-card, E-card, components, or bringing data into the platform. And next year we will have a rollout really considering this end-to-end process from concept to manufacturing preparation.
So this was really a very deep and intense selection process, and I hear it's very. I think it's a good practice for many customers. I mean, involving the users, all the departments, as you mentioned, to make it really a collaborative effort. So at the end, what was the main 3 reasons why you as you said, you decided to choose a Dassault system and Stephane experience for this ambitious program?
So first of all, I would say what really was a good point for Dassault is during the PLM vendor selection process. So we were with around about 40 colleagues for 1 week in a hotel, and the different vendors came and addressed our user stories we have provided. And Dassault used their own tool to work up our request, right? And this was a quite good thing because we have seen that Dassault is focusing on collaboration. And we really want to enable collaboration along the innovation chain. And this was really the first very good impression for our colleagues. And also the concept to have one unique user interface from the beginning until the end was also a very good combination with this collaboration aspect. And therefore, this was also very important for our colleagues. But also, of course, the high amount of functionalities but also does Zoe really listen to us and try to provide solutions for our problems we had. So these were main reasons, I would say, and yeah.
So as I know, this program and this deployment will be happening on the cloud with our SaaS solution. Was this also a decision criteria for you, or how do you come to this conclusion?
So not in the beginning, I would say. So we were quite open for on-prem and cloud solutions. But during the validation phase, there was a strong motivation out of the business for the cloud. But it was a really hard discussion in our company. So we really needed around about 10 to 11 months to make this decision, because bringing R&D data into the cloud is a quite big step for companies like us. But I would say the business sees a lot of potential in the collaboration with externals in the future. And this is much more easier using a cloud system. And we also customized our ERP system the last 20 years. And now it's very hard to get away from it, because we also have to go on the cloud somewhere with the ERP system. And this was really a decision to take cloud, because we have to use out-of-the-box functionalities. We cannot customize it. And as PLM is so complex, we are able to make updates in the future and to get the newest functions. And and you can easily scale the PLM, and also in accordance with local legislations, I would say. Like if you open a new company in some countries, there are a lot of legislation, and it's quite hard for a small company like we are to know the rules, I would say. And in this case, you don't have to take care about it. You can just switch on and say, "Oh, we need some more capacity," right?
So it's very clear, Andreas, and actually, as you have seen in the conference yesterday, this will also put you in the right positions to really leverage all this IP knowledge, know-how you are going to capture in the platform to fuel those generative solutions that are coming this year. So
absolutely. So we're really looking forward. Just asking some kind of ChatGPT in the platform, however the name is, please make me a bill of material.
We call it Aura, you know.
Aura, right. You said it yesterday.
your personal virtual companion.
Sounds interesting.
So we all know that such kind of process is first, as you said, it's taking time. It's a decade, at least eventually a multi-decade decision that you have to make. So, and we all know that in all those processes there is up and down. It's not always going smoothly. Especially when you have such kind of global collaborative exercise to bring all the organization together. So maybe you can tell us a bit about this and how you overcome the.
So of course it stands and falls with the people, definitely. And we try to address the topic organizational change management from the beginning on. And we also made some kind of a monitoring, how's the mood concerning PLM, and from a scale from 1 to 5. And there are some critical moments in last year, because, as I said, we wanted to implement an end-to-end process from concept to manufacturing preparation, and there are so many sub-processes included. And therefore really had to gain expertise in a lot of different topics, like variant management, like engineering BOM, manufacturing engineering, product compliance, and so on. And everyone was waiting on the decisions of the other topics, because everything is dependent, right? And therefore, the mood decreased a little bit because of some kind of disorientation. And therefore, it was really necessary to bring all the open issues into decisions.
Back together.
And we thought, how can we manage it? And we managed 1 week in a hotel, bringing all the topic leads together.
Again, a hotel.
It's always helpful to be outside of the company. Definitely. And we said, okay, now we have 5 days and we need decisions. And we discussed in a group of 30 colleagues to make the decisions. And this was really exhausting, and the colleagues had a lot of pain, had pain, I would say, in the end of this week. but we really made around about 70 decisions in the end, and now we have a good basis, and we have to implement it, of course. Not all things are solved so far, but we had a goal and a target picture where we want to go, and this was quite helpful, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so then you got the green light or the white smoke at the end of the week. Right, it was decided.
Yeah, right. Good comparison.
To conclude, Andreas, I think it was a very dense discussion. Yeah. We covered many topics, but so one last point on the transition, because it's already, as you said, quite complicated to get a common view on the to-be target processes, on converging many things that were managed in isolation before. Yeah. But then you have to deal about the transition, how you move your existing data in the new system. Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about what you are doing for this, and what are the steps that you are taking?
Yeah. So last year the focus was the implementation aspect, and this year we really focus on transition, migration, and integration, and organization and change management, of course. And so we know some kind of our future IT landscape we want to have in the future, and we have an existing one, and now we are trying to write down some kind of operational concepts with different phases, how we come to this point, considering coexisting data sovereignty. So we want to get out the bill of material from the ERP system and bring it to the PLM system, and everything is linked. Therefore, we have a lot of support, also from external consultancies to support us, and we also choose a model-based approach, how we can manage these different phases. And we also introduced a new IT middleware, I would say, to make the interfaces between the existing systems and the future systems. And to make it more complex, we're also introducing an MES system, manufacturing execution system. And therefore, it's also a big task to define the interaction between ERP, MES, and PLM in the future. So currently, everything is flowing over the ERP system, but in the future, we also want to have a direct connection between PLM and MES.
Yeah, because actually, this MES system, I think, is also coming from Dassault system.
Yeah, right.
So you get the end-to-end things together.
Yeah, well, this is also a funny fact, because in the beginning it was a little bit independent, the choice of the MES system from the PLM program. In the end, it's good because we promised a lot of potentials, having it from the same provider. Hopefully it will fulfill our expectations. But yeah, so we really have the chance to get an information flow into the production, but also backwards, that the colleagues, the developers also can learn about the failures and the problems, troubles they have in the manufacturing. And as most of the R&D colleagues are sitting in Germany and most of the production is somewhere in Asia, it's a quite good fact that we have a good information flow, because currently there's really some kind of a break in the communication. Yeah.
So to conclude, Andreas, so what will be your main recommendation, advice you want to give to the people who will listen to you, especially for the one who are maybe in the middle of the same process or starting the process?
I think the most important thing in the beginning is to communicate that PLM is not just a software project. It's really a management approach, and you have to take care of it. That you don't have to just implement a new PLM software system. You also think about processes, about data, about people and the systems, of course. I think this is the most important thing in the beginning, that also have the commitment from the management to consider all these 4 dimensions, I would say, that you also have to take care about communication and training. You have to enable colleagues, and you really have to be willing to change processes. Otherwise, I would say it doesn't make sense to go in this direction, because then you just digitalize maybe bad processes, and in the end you have more pain points than before. I think this is one of the most important factors in the beginning.
So Andreas, I would like to thank you very much. Of course, we are very happy with your choice. We know it's a long journey, and you can count on us to be there all along the way and support you. And obviously, your success will be our success together. So I'm really happy with that. And hopefully, you will come back to see us next year.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So thank you very much for the invitation. We really appreciate the partnership, and we're looking forward to the next steps. Thank you.
Thank you very much.